Dro back again. Sorry about the delay with videos. Had some stuff come up this week, but that's neither nor there. So let's start with some videos, shall we? We're going to start off with TSM versus CLG. Oh, that's the wrong player. Professional as always, Adam. Right, open with not Adam. Never mind that. Right, so let's get into picks and bans right away here. Make it full screen. Wait for this fucking thing to go. Okay, Fiora, Olaf. Pretty standard, pretty good picks at the moment. Tam Kench, again, pretty strong with a rise. Pretty standard ban. Personally wouldn't ban it myself, just play around it. I think he's very counterable at the moment. I think a lot of people don't seem to realise this, that you have to play around the rise, but you know, let's especially with things like tanks and wave clear being very strong at the moment and anti-siege. So I mean, rise, just he has to get ahead to do well or get to a late game if you can. So that's anyway, that's a pretty standard top lane focus. He's used against who was it used against? Vitality, I think, in the EU LCS. They're kind of the three strongest top lane picks at the moment. I'd put money on Fiora, just with her broken kit. Olaf, just I think people don't really realise how strong Olaf is with the Graspy Undying and how tanky he can get. And Gangplank's just a ridiculously good ban. Okay, Tam Kench, Rise and Corki. Yeah, people seem to undervalue Corki at the moment. He's very strong flex pick, mid or top. I'll go back into that a bit later. So we've got an Elise here, pretty standard first pick jungler. So the Corki, double AD comps are very strong at the moment with tower pushing and zone control and things like this. So the Corki, he's pretty good in the fact that he's flex into the mid or AD carry role. He provides quite good things. He got quite a good buff with the AD carry thing. And he provides wave clear, and he's very good at tower pushing, so he's quite good at the moment in the meta. So there's a Lissandra locked in. This is a good flex pick to mid or top, very strong, very competent at the moment. Great wave clear, makes up for a lot of champions who are strong at the moment who don't have wave clear, so it's a very good pick. And what will the second pick by CLG be? Can't really remember it myself. It's the Rek'Sai. So again, very good jungler, very underrated jungler I think in the West. The Koreans have been picking it up a lot, but she is, with the lack of vision at the moment, I think Rek'Sai's value is even stronger than it was before with the amount of vision there was. She was strong then, so she's even stronger now. And she's pretty good into Elise. Like, they're both kind of, I'd say they're pretty much on par. I'd favour Rek'Sai, but then again I'm quite favourable of tanks. So the Lulu's being hovered here. How Lulu got through is beyond me. Personally, I wouldn't have left the Lulu up if it was me. I would have either taken the Lulu for CLG or, well, no, I mean if you get the Lissandra and Rek'Sai, but I just wouldn't have even given it to them. If they're focusing your top lane that much, you don't give them a safe pick like Lulu. You ban it instead of the Rise, you make them force them into the Rise and then play a comp around the Rise personally. And then Alistar, pretty standard pick at the moment. Means your jungler can maybe go a bit thing. Oh, sorry, it's not the Lulu. Sorry, it's the Tristana. Yeah, pretty good bot lane here. For Tristana's just pretty strong. She's good at tower pushing, things like this. Double lift seems to prefer her, so that's a bit of a thing. So I can't remember the next two picks here, but we'll see what they are. But you're looking at kind of a pretty standard comp there by TSM. Good jungler, pretty good bot lane. I mean, personally, I would have gone for Lucian, but Tristana's not terrible. She's good at tower pushing. So we get the Bard and the can't remember her name. Callista. I was going to say Rek'Sai then. We've already got Rek'Sai. So what this screams to me is they're wanting to kite round fights with the Bard, the Lissandra and stuff, beat the engage, and then counter on the back engage, and they're leaving their top pick for last, which is a very smart thing to do with a carry top lane such as, I'm just going to call her Darshan. It's a terrible name. But yeah, because Callista's really strong at the moment. People very underrate Callista. She's still just a ridiculously annoying champion, and Bard's the same. He does a ton of damage. He's probably one of the strongest peel supports at the moment. He gives a lot in terms of utility if you can use him properly, and Afram is a very prolific bard player. Sorry, I can't get my words out today. Been a bit ill. So double lift is on. So there we go. That rounds out TSM's comp. Big tank in the top lane with a Twisted Fate in the mid lane. Personally, I wouldn't have taken the Twisted Fate here. You're looking to because it gives good map pressure, which answers the Rek'Sai, but you don't really know specifically who he's going to be laning into. So, I mean, they could just completely screw him here. A Victor would have been a better pick. Gives better wave clear, gives better like safeness. If you think it's going to be the Lissandra, I think a Lux would have also been a better pick. But I mean, it seems Bjergsen wants the thing. But he's too, like, this team's too pick orientated now against such a heavy disengaged comp that it's like, I mean, Tristan is very pick orientated. So with Alistar and stuff, I mean, the Mundo's a good pick. Mundo's very strong. Although I probably would have taken a Gnar, just to do with the fact that they're going to be looking for disengage and Mundo's going to get kited. So maybe Mundo wasn't the best pick here. Maybe something like a Gnar would have been a bit better. And then the Jax comes in to round out the comp. So you know they're going for a 3-threat lineup here with a heavy split push, because they know that they don't really have anything that can answer a Jax split push on TSM. So it's quite a good pickup, especially with the map, the map presence that a TP Lissandra and a Rek'Sai can give. It's a very good comp, this, and they can't. I mean, they can kind of answer it with a Twisted Fate, but you can't like split push against a Jax. So it's a very risky kind of move to take the Twisted Fate, in my opinion. I would have just played for the scale and gone for a big pick or something, and just put Victor in the mid lane or a Lux in the mid lane. Okay, so let's skip this forward a little bit, get into the game, blah 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 blah. Okay, here we go, we're gonna get it. Right, so TSM start off with the standard lane swap boards. They're looking for a lane swap here, I think. Are they looking to lane swap? I can't really remember, and they're being mirrored by CLG. This is pretty standard at the moment. You can check, or instead of having 3 wards like you would have to on the other side, you only need 2 wards. So it's a better start. So what's going on here? We've got CLG looking to, I think they're looking to match the lane swap, because they're quite happy 2v2ing, because Bard's quite good into Alistar, and Tristan is pretty weak early on compared to the double ranged bot lane, but they give away their position here on the wall, but they can't really not. So they get scouted out by TSM there. Rek'Sai starts on the bot side with double jungling to get the Jax some safe laning at the start, so they know what's going to happen. And the mid lane is going to go to their standard stuff. I'm sorry, that's blocking the vision a little bit. There we go. So Rek'Sai is just really good for this. She can just go through the jungle, she can do her thing, provide so much vision. Lissandra is just going to shove in the TF. Lissandra is going to do Lissandra thing. It's a really strong pick at the moment for this. She can make up a lot. She's a great flex book that can make a lot of picks, like take away their weaknesses. It's a really strong pick with the buff they gave her. She's really safe. So, interestingly, leaving their blue buff up for later. Here, leaving the CLG blue buff up. This is interesting. I don't know if they're going to give it over to Lissandra. I can't quite remember. But Rek'Sai doesn't actually need it, so giving to the Lissandra would be quite a smart move to completely shut down the Twisted Fate a bit earlier than usual. And this is smart by CLG, moving the Jax away before he can get basically shat on. Yeah, this is such a stupid move here. You don't know where the jungler is, but you're going to come and soak up this wave. I mean, this is classic like silliness. So they know this. They know that the Elise might be nearby, but they can scout it out with the Rek'Sai. They know the gank's not coming. They just TP with the Jax, save the cannon creep as well for a bit longer, and get a free kill. And that's perfectly executed dive. And this is the power of Rek'Sai that I was talking about, because she can scout out like pretty much this sort of vision here. You know that the Elise isn't nearby and that it's fine to do the gank. Another reason why Rek'Sai is a very strong pick at the moment is to do with the fact of her tunnels. They actually give hidden vision, if you didn't know this, by stepping over one of them, because the pro players should be looking at their mini-maps a lot more than us scrubs do. They will know when they're popped and who's around, and they can make a good educated guess on who's going to be nearby. This is a very well done tower. It bounces correctly. It doesn't bounce as far as it should, but it's still pretty good. And TSM still haven't taken the tower on the bot line, so it's a very good lane swap by CLG to get the game rolling. What shall we talk about now? So what TSM are looking here to do is they're looking to be a pick orientated team that can tower push pretty effectively and can pick off a single target, maybe in a side lane with the Twisted Fate, and just have a big ball of tank with Alistar and Mundo, which isn't a bad idea, but they're really lacking, like they have wave clear from the TF, but compared to say CLGs with the Runan's Hurricane, Kalista and the Lissandra, isn't really that much of a match. Twisted Fate's a bit more exposed when he wave clears. He's got his cards, but they're never really going to kill a whole wave, not like a Lissandra EQ. I mean, that's Lissandra level 5 with 3 points in her Q, and she can almost like murder the smaller creeps with 2 diamonds. So I didn't like the Twisted Fate in this match, not because they lost. I just think there were better picks, because I mean, you take, like, say you take even TP Lulu or something here, you're kind of relying then on your jungler and your what do you call it, your Tristana to make up the damage, but you're so sticky that they can't do anything about it. Like, the Lulu getting through this whole game is a complete and utter surprise to me. I think teams should be putting higher priority on Lulu, in my opinion, and TSM should have recognised this. So this is pretty overextended by Jax here. He makes a mistake here, overextending a bit too far. He should have had a ward down if he's going to come this far, but he knows the Lissandra can come, so it's a it's not a terrible move. I personally wouldn't have made it, but here we go. And then Twisted Fate comes in, but it's too late, so he can't. Oh no, the Bard gets him. That's what it is. The Bard roam from the mid lane there stops the Twisted Fate, and that's kind of the differences between the comps. Is the Mundo needs some time to get tanky, while the Jax is pretty. Jax needs time to scale up. He's kind of like a melee Rise in that respect, but they're playing around it well. They've got enough pressure from other lanes. They've got a Rek'Sai, they've got a Lissandra, while I mean TSM's comp is kind of focused around picks like this, like getting these kind of picks. But if you don't make them, you invest a lot, and it's not really worth. I mean, there they invested an exhaust, and they didn't get anything bar a flash on a support. So I mean, the exhaust. Is the exhaust more worth than a flash support? It's not a flash dependent support, so I'd say that's a loss. That's a pretty net loss. Or was it ignite? No, it was exhaust. So I mean, yeah, because the exhaust can stop a Jax, it can stop a Lissandra ult from doing as much damage. It's a lot more valuable than a flash on a Bard. Okay, so comes in for a mid gank, but it's Lissandra, so she just does that, goes to her safe side, gets away. Just putting pressure in mid. It's a thing to do when you've got time as a support, is just go pressure your mid lane through the safe spots. So the Jax can fight. Yeah, the Jax can just fight this Mundo now. Jax is a lot further ahead. Oh, it's a good Q flash there. Shouldn't have been in the position to burn his flash in the first place, but it's not bad. So I mean, what's basically happening here is they just CLG just want Jax and what do you call it? Kalista to scale up into the mid to late game, where they start to get completely out of control. That's why the Lissandra is such a strong pick in this case with the Rek'Sai. The Rek'Sai provides a lot of safe vision, while the Lissandra provides really good early game wave clear. So they can pretty much just hold out if they do go behind, which they're not. They're ahead by 500 gold. which surprisingly is actually, that means TSM's actually got better wave control, so that's actually a bad point on CLG. They should have better wave control, better farming in mid lane as well. This is pretty bad farming for a Lissandra as well against a TF. She did TP away, but I mean your farming shouldn't be that bad for a pro player. So Jax has still got his TP, so he's still pretty safe. He can move about the map. Kallista's just here in the bot side. She's just getting free farm. She's doing quite well. See, they're looking to make a play here on Jax. They know that the Jax is the problem, and they're looking to shut it down. But they're just, I mean, Bard and Kallista can just make this Jax so safe with Bard's spaghetti Qs and Rek'Sai and burrows and her vision. Do the smart thing here and run away, but it's a bit too late on the runaway. I think he gets caught. Does he get killed? No, he manages to get away. But he shouldn't be a position. He shouldn't have to burn a flash. He should have walked away a long time ago. Should have understood that the Twisted Fate would come in. But this gives Kallista time in the bot lane to do her work. So they have to move the Tristana to the mid lane. They put too much pressure. They get a tower out of it, but so does the Kallista. I think she gets a tower out of this, or she at least gets tower pressure. So the fact that they've literally gained a flash for that play, which yeah, doesn't really equate to much. It's a tower, but I believe that they're gonna. Do they get the mid tower? They might get the mid tower as well. Like, it's such a. They need to get pressure on the mid tower, but I mean the bot tower's going down, which is a massive kind of thing. They really didn't. They either had to get the kill there, or they should have just pressured and walked away, so they can move around the map. I mean, Haunter had his TP. He should probably have TP'd down to save the tower once they knew that they had the top tower, so that's really, really bad play from there. But I guess he's just saving it to match the Jax. So back to farming here. The Kalista is just looking for her classic 2-item power spike of the Blade of the Ruined King and the Runelands. That's why they're just sitting her off in a side lane and farming. It's the same thing you do with the Corki. You just let him farm in a side lane with a freeze until you can get the old Triforce and just start shoving down towers. That's why Corki's really strong at the moment. He's a good flex pick into that as well. Really good at tower pushing. I actually prefer Corki to Tristana at tower pushing, considering how early the game is at the moment. I think he's a better AD carry in general anyway at the moment. I mean, she has to go Infinity Edge, and Infinity Edge is not the best item at the moment in terms of how the meta is. Kind of limits you too much compared to something like an Essence Reaver or a Triforce. So Mundo's freezing in the top lane. It's good wave management here. Keep him farming. But personally, I think that you should probably be giving that farm to the Tristana. But she has to base. I think that might be what they're doing. They might be swapping it around, knowing that the top side pressures where. I mean, CLG are just looking for making a pick to go off and to do Dragon, I believe, at the moment. Some tower shoving as well. They're just looking to scale up. They're buying the Rageblade Jax at the moment, and they're just looking to scale up a little bit with the Lissandra just providing safe wave clear. It's a pretty smart first buy by the Lissandra here to go for the Abyssal Scepter. The Abyssal Scepter is a ridiculously cheap item. It's giving her defense against the two people who'll probably be able to kill her with the Elise and the Twisted Fate, while also giving her immense kind of damage as well. It's a really smart buy. So if we look at the vision here, TSM have, I think everyone has put a pink ward down, but they've at least got like such defensive pink wards here, 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 and they've just got this whole place littered with wards. And they seem to be prioritising the yellow ward trinkets. Are they even at level 9 yet? No, they're not. Right, but they've got really good defensive vision going on, while CLG don't need the defensive vision as much because A, they're the ones pushing in, and B, they've got all these Rek'Sai tunnels which provide vision, because you're not going to give up that much gold. That's like 40 gold, so people will go over that, and they just need entrance vision here and here. But they need, and also they have the Rek'Sai, which frees you up with warding, so they can go for more kind of high impact wards. It's another point of why Rek'Sai is really good at the moment. So they're looking to siege up the mid now that they've got Lissandra split pushing on the sides. No one can deal with her really. apart from maybe Twisted Fate, and then Jax as well. Jax is getting really big, and he's got the Rift. He's had the Rift Herald buff as well. The Rift Herald's really, or Gerald as I call him, Gerald's really underwhelming. He takes a lot to get, and he doesn't give that much because the minions don't get harder to kill. They just do more damage, which is really underwhelming. So there's some 1-3-1 coming on here with Jax in the top lane, Lissandra in the bot lane, double TP, pretty standard stuff from Worlds and from Godv in the LPL. So this is where the lack of wave clear in the mid lane is coming to pass, but we come in here. That's a really good Bardo on the AD carry with the Jax coming in and the Lissandra as well, but Jax just goes in just too early. However, the mid game power spike is pretty strong on the sides as TSM. I mean, Jax went in there too early there. He shouldn't have gone in that early. And then in comes the Twisted Fate catch. This is what TSM's comp's looking to do. It's pretty standard of what it's trying to do there. It's trying to just pick off people like that, get a good pick, snowball the pick with the Twisted Fate, the Elise, just carry on chasing people. Or CLG's comp's looking to disengage. They can engage as well with Lissandra, Jax, Rek'Sai, Bard, but the problem with it there was Jax was just too he's too squishy, and he's just went just too early. So, and Rek'Sai's going to go back to her stuff. So if you see here, the Bard ult comes down, really good pick, but they should focus on this now, but they have to focus here because the TPs were too far away from the rest of the team. So it was good peel here by Yellow Star, and here comes the Mundo. Just actually really do not much. That was a really good, but that's what Bard Kalista can do. They can just jump away, they can disengage, and this is what TSM comp's designed to do. It's designed to pick off. Bard lasts a lot longer here than he should do. Oh, sorry for yours. Very unprofessional of me. It's a 50 DKP minus, right? So, just looking, they really should have the Lissandra in the mid lane, in my opinion, to wave clear against the Twisted Fate. I think that's a really big mistake here. You should just put your big wave clear in the mid lane. I mean, you kind of need that wave clear in the mid lane, especially against Twisted Fate, who can go across the whole map with his ult, so that's who they'll be looking to have in the mid lane. I think that's a mistake. Another reason why Kalista's very strong at the moment, especially into this Mundo, is Mundo needs to chase. He needs his cleavers to slow you, and he's a big ball of health. With Kalista, you have a lot of percentage health damage, and you attack very quickly with the Borg. So you actually shred through him mid to late game very quickly. It's a very good pickup, and I think a lot of people don't seem to realise that. Yeah, here we go, second Gerald. I mean, they don't invest so much in this one. It's not a bad thing. A bit overextended here in the bot lane. Shouldn't be this far forward. Huge mistake. Has to burn his ult. He's not gonna get away either. Does a fair bit of damage, but you know, it's not worth. You lose a lot of map pressure by doing this, and CLG are looking to make a pick in the mid lane. They're looking to get this tower. They kind of need to get this tower. Yellow Star will just soak up the threat damage, does what Alistar does. Very interested to see what the dynamic of the TSM bot lane evolves into, because Doublelift's a very mechanically gifted player. He's a very bad shot caller. Jax is a bit overextended, but there's no one nearby to punish that. He's a good mechanic. He's a very, very good mechanical player, although his ego would tell you that he's probably the best ever. However, he's very aggressive, and he'll always look to jump in, while Yellow Star, especially recently, has been known for making very conservative laning phases, very conservative plays, looking for mid to late game shot calling to get him through the game. So it'll be very interesting to see how a 2v2 ends playing out in TSM. I haven't actually watched the other TSM games, so I don't actually know how the lane swap happens, if there's a lane swap. But knowing TSM with Doublelift on his Tristana, they'll probably look to lane swap it, because they pick Tristana pretty much every game. And fast push down side waves. So CLG just looking to get the rest of this tower here. They're looking to get the Kalista some farm to get her Runans. And Lissandra's in the bot lane. I still think Lissandra should be in the mid lane, but I guess it makes it safer for Kalista to be in the mid lane, but she just doesn't have her Runans yet, so her wave clear isn't that good. You can't really rush Runans either. First item, it's a bit pointless. It's like the biggest waste of money. So, still looking for the 1-3-1. A lot of defensive wards here by TSM and a lot of offensive wards by CLG. It kind of shows the way the map's swinging. They're still just sieging down. I think NA is a region. It's a very weird region because to me it's kind of a mix between China and Korea. And I don't know whether that's because that's the style that's evolved, or that's the style that they try and copy. They can't choose who to be, because you'll find teams such as CLG who are very kind of macro orientated. They're very kind of, okay, we get good rotations, we get good map control, we do side lanes properly, such as the Koreans do. But then they'll just go and make a fight in bot lane that makes absolutely no sense, or they miss position or something. It's very odd to me. I just don't see why you wouldn't. I mean, you look at the last 3 world championships have been won by Korea with a very macro orientated playstyle. Why are you not playing macro? It just doesn't make much sense. So TSM looking to siege up the mid. They've got the wave clear now. They've got the see, that's what I mean. They're staying when they shouldn't. They're not they're underestimating the pick potential by TSM. Then they always get killed. Yeah, very interesting pickup here by the Lissandra. I personally would have gone for the Spooky Ghosts, even in their nerfed form. They're still very gold efficient, and you can always trade later on in the game from Spooky Ghosts to the Morellonomicon. But I guess the Morellonomicon's for the Mundo, so it's not that terrible. But I'd just tell your Kalista to get Executionist Calling, 800 gold, Grievous Wounds on all your auto attacks. It's just why are you not buying this item? It's very smart. Good pathing there by Rek'Sai. Getting in and amongst the wards. It's very bad warding there by TSM. They've got a lot of kind of deep impact wards, and what I mean by that is they're in jungle paths, but Rek'Sai can just burrow everywhere, so she can't be seen by these, and they've just no warding around where double F was. That's pretty bad. So it seems for the split push that CLG are favouring the yellow ward over the blue ward. I would probably suggest this if you're looking to split push, due to the especially the yellow trinket in its buff form, because your wards can be killed so easily. Oh, sorry again, very unprofessional. Your wards can be killed so easily, so I'll start moving my mouse, that you kind of need the long duration wards. So yeah, probably for split pushing I'd suggest that, but then double blue on all the carries. And I mean TSM with the thing. This is the power of Jax. Jax, yeah. Who does want a piece of the champ? Right, okay, so we've got a fight here. Bard gets a good pick onto Svenskeren. He's completely out of position on AP Elise. Gets killed in midair. And now they can look to pressure the Baron, or at least pressure the Vision. That was almost a very good Bard thing, and that's so they're just looking for a pick. You see, they've disengaged the initial fight, and now they're just looking to make an engage play. That's a really good Lissandra ult to break up that fight, and then they jump on. I think they should peel away here, and they should go for the Baron. They do. They use the Bard, disengage. Very smart play. Because only the tanks are up, so this is a free Baron. That was what I thought. They might go for the mid tower there, and I was going to be like, no, why are you doing this? So just going to pick up the Baron here. There's nothing they can do. Elise overextended again. AP Elise, you need to pick your moment. You're an assassin now, you're not a frontline. All base together. You should always all base together with Baron. Almost a Bard Spaghetti Q. I'm surprised it didn't ping back to like over here or something if he was jumped here, because Bard Spaghetti. This is a brilliant Lissandra ult. Look at this. Flash on top of you, so it stops everyone and then ults themselves and just creates the zone. That's an absolutely amazing Lissandra play. With the E flash W R. So, what do TSM need to do to win this game now? They need to get picks, and to get picks they need vision. So, do they have the green? Yes, they do. Okay, so that's smart. They've got the green, they recognise that they need picks. Here we go, that's perfect. See, get them while they think they're safe. Blue trinket, pink ward, nothing they can do. So TSM need to keep making picks like that, they need to create vision, and they just need to completely pressure this mid lane because CLG have to rotate up, but they're looking to split push. And this is the problem with this Mundo pick. But the Twisted Fate does help here. And then he went too aggressive. So he went too aggressive with that wards, didn't respect the Twisted Fate and got killed. So I mean the Twisted Fate's not bad in that respect. But I mean Jax can't split push if you clear all his wave. So I mean whether or not you go for something like, even if you go for like a Nautilus top lane, I think Nautilus would be better into Jax. Because Mundo, he's great at the moment, but he's not great into something that can just kind of kite him, and he's been kited, while Nautilus has the hard engage potential. So I think something even like a Nautilus would have been better in the top lane if you keep the Twisted Fate. Or if you keep the Mundo, you need to go for something like a Lulu or a thing to speed up your carries to get to them. Because they're so high disengage on the terms of CLG. And also, yeah, Elise was first pick, so you can't bash the Elise pick. Elise is just such a strong pick. But I mean, if you're going to go for a AP Elise, you need to be so much better on your positioning. She's so squishy. So, you've got the very smart buy here by the I can't even show it to you, but if you look at the Callista's items on the right, the QSS for 2.5 items is a very strong pick. It stops the Elise Cocoon, the gold card, the Alistar knock-up, where you can do it halfway and start hopping about, and the Mundo Cleavers, you can stop the Mundo Cleaver train, so it's a very good pickup. The only problem is you can't do all of them with it. Here we go, here's the power of Jax. Jax. Coming in. It's very good mid-top synergy here for CLG. They're looking to play around the top laner very hard, but Mundo does a very good job here. He burns quite a few ults to get this, so they have to burn quite a few ults, and it's not really worth it. Oh, sorry again. Very hard week. Okay, but I don't think they actually end up getting the tower. No, they don't. Which is actually really bad, because Tristana's like, I'm in top lane, and they're like, yeah, but we can get mid lane, and Tristana's like, I'm in top lane. So yeah, it's pretty bad. Rek'Sai's just going to look to do things here, look for the vision, good pick here, great Bard ult. Will they get the pick? No, they won't. Do they get this? Okay, so they get the Elise, they look for the Twisted Fate. This is what Bard does so well. He's so great at chasing and disengaging. Very underrated champion by a lot of people, I believe. When he came out, people were calling him trash. It's surprising, so surprising. You don't know what the champion can and can't do. Why are you calling it trash? So they move forward. Great. This is what Bard also enables them as well. If you're highly macro orientated, it allows you just to rotate so quickly. You can just completely outstomp your opponent with Dragon and Baron control through out map rotations. It's a very strong pick. Very highly underrated by a lot of Western teams and Eastern teams in general. I think there's like, is it KT also I think are picking it for this kind of playstyle with high macro rotations, or is it Longzhu? I think it's Longzhu. Longzhu are really high priority on it for the macro rotations. Callista picks up a thing, but they use it very well with a double AD comp. So they go like Tam Kench or Mundo or something big in the top lane like a Gnar. And then they'll go for a Rek'Sai in the jungle or an Elise with a double AD comp, usually Corki and maybe Lucian, and then a Bard, because you've got the front line. Bard can disengage / engage, and he also just provides some amazing rotations for the double AD comp to take towers. So it's a great strategy overall. And if you ever want to learn how to use the macro game properly, go watch some LCK matches and actually watch what they're doing around the map and when they're pushing and how they use side waves. It's very enlightening to how to play League of Legends properly, if that can even be used as a phrase. I'm sure Monte Cristo would tell you otherwise, but Yeah, they're just getting out rotated at the moment. TSM, they're getting out. I mean, they've got the Tristana and the Twisted Fate for tower pushing, but the problem with that is that they can't get to the towers because they don't have enough zone control around the towers, and you completely change that around with CLG. They've got the Bard Spaghetti Q. They've got Great Wave Clear. They've got a Lissandra. They've got a Jax jumping in, a Rek'Sai jumping in. They've got some great tower control and zone and peel and engage, and it's a lot better rounded of a comp for me. So what's going to be happening here? My throat's going to start hurting. But if you look at the push on the top side, this is what Twisted Fate has to go up and answer this, but now he can't because they're pressuring them in mid. So they see that Twisted Fate's going to go up, but he's Twisted Fate. But they just look to pressure in mid and start a fight. Twisted Fate can't decide. He can't choose. He's stuck between two minds. He's like, oh, when am I coming in? When am I not? Absolutely great ultimate again by Huhi to slow down the fight. The main thing. Stop the engage, stop the disengage. Absolutely brilliant Bard ult again. Give some time. There we go. Start to clean up the fight. But then Aphromoo just goes the wrong way and gets picked off. And that's that's the difference between the comps. If the pick goes off, they're going to blow them up. But if they don't, then CLG will win. So, where are you going now, CLG? Are you going to go back with your tail between your legs? Yes, you are. But Elise is not really making any impact in these fights. She's very squishy. She's very, very squishy. I don't mind AP Elise. I think she's very strong with the Runic Echoes, but you have to just know how to position. And if you're too far forward, you're going to lose. Because you can't make anything. So she gets a pick on that, but there's no one really to follow up because of the zone control from the CLG. And with Twisted Fate just not making up his mind, and there we go, that's a brilliant Lissandra ult to slow down the Twisted Fate, slow down the Elise. Elise will just get picked off here. Boom, boom, boom. Bard slow, everyone kills them. Great Bard ult, keep the fight going. And if Aphromoo just goes the other way or makes up his mind faster, he's gone. And that's just really bad positioning there. So if we look at the wards, yet again, CLG, very, very high impact, very kind of, very good wards. What I mean by high impact ward is it sees a lot for very little, for very few wards. So they're usually in jungle bushes or paths or something. Rek'Sai tunnels making up a lot of the vision, as they should do. So you can invest a lot more in other sort of wards. I think. What should we talk about now? Yeah, I don't know what people want to know. So what CLG are looking to do here is they're looking to go back to the 1-3-1 with the Lissandra and the Jax, because now Kallista's got her thing. She can just sit in the mid lane and just go choop 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 and just kill all the waves. This is the power of Jax. He's used his slow. Twisted Fate has to answer the Lissandra. So, I mean, the only person who can answer the Jax is the Mundo, and that leaves the Lissandra free. And the only person who can answer the Lissandra is the Twisted Fate. So it kind of cuts out the Twisted Fate from half the map. So it's a very smart play to do that. You always want Twisted Fate in the mid lane, because it's just the whole map. You just cut out half the map that he can go to. But he's just, he can't go off Summoner's Rift. He can't go on a magical journey. Magical journey. Here we go. Here comes Jerks. Great spell rotation there, but if you play Jax enough, you learn how to auto cancel and things. Animation cancel. Auto attack reset, all that stuff. So what the TSM need to do to win the game here? They just need to get a pick. The whole team comp is just centered around picks. And it's almost very surprising. You'd think with such a star-studded lineup, especially with things like Bjergsen and Double Lift and Yellow Star to an extent, and Sven Skaren, who's known as a carry jungler, you'd go to look to make your own kind of team comp, and it just feels like they're almost countering, especially with the Mundo pick, countering the potential of a split push top. Here we go. It's just overextended yet again, but. And he just got overextended, but it gives them enough time to try and take the Baron in top. But I mean, TP comes in, Twisted Fate can't join. No, he can't. But it's still, you know, it gives complete Baron control there to CLG. It's just overextension. Sorry, to TSM. It's just complete overextension on the side of CLG. Very, very poor macro-orientated play for a macro team. They should look to address that in their coming games. You can split push, but you're split pushing too much. So they can now push these towers. This is what they were looking to do in the first place. They just were never really in a position to do so. They've got a Tristana and a Twisted Fate with a Lich Bane. He doesn't have a Lich Bane, but he can still blow up towers with his cards. But this is what I mean about Lissandra and Kalista. Their wave clear is so strong. So they should have got the tower and they should have got the inhib there, and they didn't. And they're gonna get it now, but that took about a minute longer than it should have. Here comes the Jax. Yeah, so CLG are gonna go for the dragon here. I mean, TSM should have gone for the Baron. And here they go. Yeah, they're going for it now. Might be a bit too late though. Yeah, this is just not commitment at all. The TSM are just not committed to this. But they've got Jax with a TP, so they can put a ward down. Yeah, perfect. Put a ward down. Free dragon. Stop the Baron. And now Jackson just going to the bot lane. That's really, really poor for someone of Yellow Star's quality of shot calling. That's a very poor shot call. You either go for it or you don't. You take the dragon. You stop them from getting anything, or you take the Baron and you let them take the dragon. It's very poor. They were too slow on the uptake. I mean, this is what I mean about NA as a region. It's a very very wishy-washy region. People like to. It's all hype and no substance. I mean, they have good players, but they usually their good players come from other places. But I'd say I think X Smithy's a very good player. He fits into what I like about League of Legends jungling as a whole. It's very kind of support oriented. It's a good sidestep. It just Spencer and gets blown up. And here comes Yellow Star, but you can't take a thing from a Kalista. So NA is a region, it's very wishy-washy to me. It's just hype, like I said, no substance. It's all production value, no real kind of. If they really wanted NA to be the best, like they keep saying that they do, they'd put so much. Riot would put so much money into the lower tier scenes, but they just. I mean, and teams would as well. But it's all about kind of making a quick buck. It's not actually about looking at the scene as a whole and making I mean, it's like if you take football as a thing, you think, well, it's a bit like having a team I don't know. I'm trying to think, but you have the lower tier teams, and you have teams that kind of look for the youth and look to develop players, and then you've got teams that just look to buy a squad and get success off that. And it feels like a lot of, not just NA does this, but a lot of kind of teams will look to make the money now instead of looking to develop for the future. Well, I think CLG kind of epitomises taking a risk on a player to who could become one of the best. Or TSM is the epitome of let's buy this strong player to bridge our gap. Which, I mean, buying a player isn't a bad thing. Don't get me wrong, getting a strong player into your roster is never a bad thing, but only doing that is a really bad thing. Looking for instant success all the time and just kind of putting a strong puzzle piece into the puzzle and expecting it to fit is really bad. There's a lot of other elements that come with that I think people underestimate a lot, and why teams such as Rocket have done actually quite well in the first week in the EU LCS, because they probably have to make up with spirit and drive and determination what they lack in mechanical skill compared to players Forgiven and stuff. And that's why I think H2K is a real force to be reckoned with, because they look like they've got a lot of team synergy going on while also being very good mechanical players, and they should be very feared. And that's enough of a rant about kind of buying players and things. So if we look, CLG have the Baron. They're just looking to choke out the game now with vision, but they're really not put much vision down for this Jax. That's a big mistake there. They need to put more vision down for this Jax. If you go watch Korean split push especially, there's so much vision put down before they split push anything. And then goes double lift on this Tristana. Yeah, Mundo can't do anything at the moment. This Jax is just going to blow him up. He's just waiting for the Twisted Fate. Just constantly waiting for the Twisted Fate. I mean, if I was Jax, I would have spent 800 gold before on a on an Executioner's Calling, guys. Executioner's Calling. This video is sponsored by Executioner's Calling, the best item that you've ever seen against a Mundo ever. And just look at it pushing with a Baron buff, make a 4-1 at the moment. I think 4-1's better than 1-3-1 at the moment, but you know, hey ho. The Callista does provide good wave clear at the moment, so it's not terrible. So yeah, they're just having to two versus one against the thing, which just leaves it leaves CLG one man over to do stuff. As the things like Jax are just really good at split pushing. If you can play Jax, you just win games. Afro almost caught out there. Yeah, really bad vision control on the bot side and the top side as well. The top side's not great, but I mean they're not going to. Lissandra is so safe, but Jax isn't, especially with the Lissandra TP down. It's really bad to not have any vision around that Jax. So they're just looking to kind of whittle them down. It's a very smart thing to do because you can lose the game off jumping into a play, especially with an open inhib. Yeah, they're just looking to disengage now. CLG looking to spend some gold. So TSM looking for the counter pick, but the Jax is in the bot lane. They're going, oh, we can get the inhib, but the Jax just got a wave. All CLG need to do here is stall. All they need to do is stall, and they've stalled. Keep the Tristana away from the tower. Oh look, they're managing to get a pick because they've got great pick and disengage with the bards. So, I mean, have to burn flashes to get away from a bard ult. Yeah, just keep them away. Jax probably should have just stayed, in my opinion. Burnt his TP for absolute dickhole. Yeah, really bad TP play there. He gets the pick, but he should, like, if he's in the bot lane at the moment, that's a free inhib. Yeah, I don't think that's the right. I think like coming up, like, using your TP later would have been the right call, but you could have got an inhib off this. I mean, they get a 5th dragon, but you could have got this anyway. You know, it's very, very poor decisiveness, and this is what it lets NA down a lot. They just seem to go into these kind of heated sort of, oh, we need to do this, like we're fighting, we need to like get the objective. If you give up a kill or two for an inhib and then TP into it, like, it's fine, but Jax should have stayed. There was no answer to a split push, and they could have got the dragon anyway. They have better dragon control, they've got better zone control, they've got better everything control at the moment. Even in the team comp, in my opinion, just better. Like, the only thing they lack is, well, they don't lack, but the only thing that TSM's comp has better than them is pick. And even then, CLG have a very good pick with the Lissandra and the Bard and the Rek'Sai and the Jax. And the Tristana, bloody Callista Ultima. So they got an inhib, they'll walk away, they'll base in a magical journey. One thing I will say for this is an absolute, that's an absolutely brilliant Bard Q. That's a great disengage. Good making them flash. They're winning this 4v5. I mean, Jax TP is completely terrible. The only thing I will say, one of the things I'll say that CLG do wrong here is they don't use the Snow Day Bard skin. Gotta love them penguins. So, yeah, they're just looking to use the 5th Baron now. 5th Dragon. Baron's up. Get the Baron. It's up in 3, 2, 1. You get the Baron. Lissandra's in the bot. She's got the TPs. Looking to not get out rotated here by the TSM team. and they're just looking to use this 5th dragon, but it's gone now. They should have looked to fight, in my opinion. But Lissandra's doing well split pushing here. Yeah, they have to go for the Baron here. They have to, because Lissandra's just going to split push that otherwise. The only problem is Lissandra still has a TP. And that's a great Bard ult to start that, and she's going to ult herself, slow down the fight, zone control, Zonya's, just be annoying. Poor positioning again by TSM. Really great Lissandra ult yet again to finish off the fight, zone control, Jax TP's in. Cancels the TP, yet again. It's really kind of... These TP uses by Darshan are very, very questionable. I think they should look into this. I don't know what your analysts are doing, CLG, if they're telling people to TP like that. You need to like get people to calm down. Like, you can finish the game like they do here, but they're very, very kind of like trigger happy on certain things. It's very worrying. You can probably lose games doing things like that. I mean, it looks flashy now, but you're so far ahead. It's not even a question. So I'm going to play an advert here, guys. I'm going to go get a glass of water. I'll be right back. Things like that. I mean, look. Play an ad. And we'll be right back, guys. For our next game, which will be one of these two. What game shall we play next? Have we done the advert? I have no idea. 4 people watching. Wow, that's amazing. Right. Okay, we're back. TSM versus Team Liquid. Let's go. Oh, wrong player. Yeah, again. I'm quality at this streaming stuff, guys. I'm sorry again if you're looking in chat. I can't actually see the chat while I'm doing this. So, picks and bans. Got some water now. Throat was hurting a little bit. Sorry again if my microphone was by the fan. Sorry again for the fan. If you want to get rid of the fan, click some adverts. Or, you know, just donate like 30 quid to me. 30, 40 quid, that'd be great. Anyway, Graves, strong pick. Lissandra, even stronger pick. Rise, Lulu, standard bans. Right, not much to say. I do think Rise is not as pick ban worthy as people seem to think it is. It's only that if you can play around it, if you get like Lissandra, Rise, and then I don't know, maybe a Corki in the bot lane or a Lucian. You need CC with it. You need sustain. You just need wave clear. He just lacks so much, then he can just get killed so easily. So that leaves Tam Kench open, which not worth it in my opinion. Another great Loco Doco coaching role here. He can't pick ban to save his life. They should employ me. Haunter, yeah, it takes the Tam Kench, really good pick. Yeah, Gangplank last ban, just really great. Really, you don't want like, wow, I don't know what Haunter's like on it, but definitely Bjergsen, like, could probably play it. Part of me wants to say as well, go for a Gangplank bot lane with an AD carry mid lane, maybe you could do something like that. Maybe. Or maybe Rise bot lane, ooh, hello. Because you can have an AD carry in the jungle and the mid now, maybe you don't need so much emphasis around an AD carry in the bot lane, maybe put Rise in bot lane with a support. Sorry, just thinking to myself here, sick MLG strats. Lucian Alistar is not a bad pick. Personally would have taken some power picks here. You know, you've got things like, I mean, Lucian's a good pickup, but I mean, I guess it does take it away from TSM, takes it away from Yellow Star, but I mean, you can pick Bard into it. I've not even watched this game, I don't even know what the picks are. So I mean, I think there's better picks you can take away. Here, Ezreal, Blue Ezreal, great disengage, great kite, especially with the Tam Kench, is a really good pick, and Rek'Sai as well, really strong jungler at the moment. Oh, sorry, I need to make this full screen. So, I mean, with Rek'Sai off the table, you have to take Elise here. I've almost drank all my water. This is bad times. Donate to get me some more water, guys. It's really expensive. Nah into Tam Kench, very good pickup. What would I have done here? I mean, personally, I think that the looking at the stuff, see, Anivia wouldn't be bad in the mid lane here for TSM. I don't know if they pick it, but it's great wave clear. It's a great pick. It's just a really good pick in general. She's really strong with Thunderlords as well. I think people aren't, again, like, she came back and everyone kind of went, oh yeah, Nivea's great, and then everyone's kind of shied away from it, which I really don't understand. You don't have to play a double scaling. You can play like, especially with, you can play like spooky ghosts in like Rod of Ages spooky ghosts, but they take the Syndra. Oh, that's interesting. That's I've heard rumours about this. I say I've heard rumours. I've heard some people say that it's she's back with the spooky ghost. We'll have to see in this game. I've not actually seen this game, but she does provide great great initiation, great zone, and disengage. Yeah, this is quite a good comp. Personally, I would have taken a Misfortune or a Tristana here instead of the Ezreal, but it's not terrible. Like, it's pretty good. I'm not saying it's bad, but this is just nitpicking. So the last pick here, I mean, you've got big front line. You need something with high wave clear here in the mid lane that's going to be safe against the Syndra. I'd pick, I don't know, Victor. I always pick Victor, but Victor's not a great last pick. Look, Victor's kind of like a blind pick mid lane. Syndra. No, I'd probably pick Victor. I'd pick Orianna. It's not terrible. She's alright into this. She just can't deal with those big frontliners. And this is the problem I think a lot of people are like forgetting, is that you have these big frontliners, so you need something that can get through these sort of champions. And people, like, Lucian's really strong, granted, like, I'm not denying that, but his build path is so set now with how strong that thing is that you can't take something like a Blade of the Ruined King or Variant. I mean, Kindred's left up this game. I would have picked Kindred over this Elise and gone double AD comp. That would have been better in my opinion. With maybe something a bit more better in the mid lane, maybe a Vel'Koz, maybe a Lux. Like, the only problem is Syndra can just press, was it like Q, E, Q, R and blow someone up, so I mean you have to be wary of that, so the Orianna's not a bad pick in that respect. Because Syndra's ult is mad as hell. Yeah, we spent extortionate amount of money to watch something we could have watched for free. Yeah! Right, so... we're gonna skip it here, I don't care. I don't care. Right, here we go. So, what are the win conditions for the TSM team? The TSM team have a very good siege comp, they're very good disengage, they're going to look to get a lot more vision than the other team, look to group round towers and kill people. What are the Team Liquid team going to do? Yeah, it's a very good question. They've kind of got pick, but they're more teamfight orientated. And the problem with teamfight orientated teams at the moment is there's nothing worth teamfighting around. I mean, you want pick, you want AoE, you want zone, you want poke, you want something like that, because it's all about the towers. It's not about dragons. So, well, you can pick, you get dragons along the way, but they're not your primary focus like they were in Season 5. Like, Season 5 was like, fight round dragon, get dragon, push a tower. Wait, wave clear, manipulate waves, fight around a tower, do something a little bit, make a pick in the jungle, fight. Now it's more about kind of go up to a tower, siege around it, put some zone down, put some poke down, get some nice peel in, you know. So things like Alistar and Bard with high disengage or high engage champions are really strong at the moment. And to couple this, I think tanks are very strong at the moment. But I'll go into that a bit later. Yeah, so I mean, just like if you look at like they're going to have some ridiculous front line on TSM side here with the unbench that Kench, Tom Cruise in the top lane with the Rek'Sai going. Rek'Sai should go tank. If you don't go tank Rek'Sai, like don't play Rek'Sai. It's pretty much my advice for that. Yeah, Yellow Star trading that Bard trade. One more auto, get the Thunderlords. There it is. All hail your Lord of Thunder. Yeah, but Bard's just a better pick into Alistar than people give it credit for. He can disengage him very easily. He can abuse his range because it's melee with short range AD carry versus long range poke AD carry and long range support. Going to get zoned here off the creeps. Piglet's looking for trade. Yellow Star's too far forward there. He shouldn't take that damage. Look to poke Yellow Star. Don't look to engage. You're playing Bard. Meanwhile, Elise and Rek'Sai just clearing jungle. So I think personally on the Syndra, I know it's Bjergsen, but I think personally here you need to take a cleanse or a barrier because they're going to look to burst you down. In fights, now shoving in the Tam Kench, she's going to even up the CS here, who should do. Get some vision. This is a good thing to do. As you can see, you push in, you get vision, you avoid ganks, because they're going to have to come from this way. Just looking to abuse the range and stuff in bot lane. Yeah, this is see that how she just walks away, the Orianna. That's if you play jungle, that's a clear indication that you're warded and you just need to walk away. There's no point staying there. So Elise, what can be said about Elise? Elise is a strong pick at the moment, but she's good. It's a weird sort of situation. Like she's good, but she's not good for the reasons people think she's good. That's a really good pick. She's really good follow-up engage in my opinion, like follow-up or just like long-range pick. But people play her like to be a carry or they play her to be a tank, and I think you just need to be supporty with her. It's kind of like a Rek'Sai, and I mean, people look to her to be the primary engage of a team, or people look to her to be the carry, and it's really really wrong in my opinion the way people play Elise. Not that I'm saying like mechanically they're bad at playing Elise. It's not that. It's just thematically. There we go. See what I mean? Like, it's the secondary engage. That's what she's really strong at. And she's really good at snowballing lanes with her early game pressure. But the problem is unless the rest of the team kind of is around towers to do stuff for Elise, she's really weak. And this is the problem I see Team Liquid's comp getting into. I've no idea who wins this game. So that's kind of interesting for me. I usually watch the games beforehand. Can Nara outplay this? Almost. Yeah, well done, good flash. Why he... Yeah, that's just a misplay by TSM. They should have eaten him. They should have got away. It's a really bad play. I'm not impressed by Haunter at the moment. from what I've seen of him. I mean, like the flash stun at IEM was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. He's really underwhelming in my opinion. Dyrus 2.0. People will talk about him like he's actually a really solid player, but he's actually not. Everything I see about it, he plays tanks. He literally only plays tanks. And when he plays something that's a bit more character orientated, he plays it like a tank. And also, ask yourself this question: if TSM could get, say, I don't know, anyone else, do you think they would have got them? Because it's, you know, it's really, yeah. I mean, he was good on, was it Gravity he was on? Gravity Haunter? Yeah, that sounds about right. He was alright on that, but he's on a team now where he's expected to do things, and some players just don't rise to the occasion, and he's just playing tanks. This is like the same problem that came with a lot of other players. It's like when you're just expected to play tanks, you will fall off because all you do is play tanks. And you need to have the flexibility to play both to be competitive, in my opinion. If you think about the great top laners, and why I think a player like Huni is a great top laner, but he'll never be a great top laner. Like he's a good top laner, but he'll never be a great top laner. Is because he can only ever do one thing, and that's carry. If you look at like kind of how he has to play at the moment, he has to play. I don't know what he played in his second game, but Cho'Gath was a good pick. I respect the Cho'Gath pick, but the problem is when the tanks come out to play, he's nowhere to be seen. He can't play his stylistic Riven picks. He can't play unless you're playing triple threat, but you can't play Riven at the moment in the current meta with the siege and the AoE and the pick. You can't do it in the tanks. So I mean, yeah. I think to be one of the greats, such as, you know, you think to yourself Looper, you think, you know, the world champions, you think what do you call them? He went off to China. Can't remember his name. SKT1, not Dandy, wasn't even played with Samsung, right? Wasn't he? Not Bangy, not Faker, not Bang, not Wolf. It's the other one, Maren. When you think about Maren as a player, like, no matter what, he could play it. Like, you think people are like, oh, his Fiora is great. Have people got such a short-term memory to remember that his Maokai was like 24-1 or something last year? Like, he is, when tanks were in, he was in. When carries were in, he was in. He's a great, like, and people seem to always just remember the flashy plays, which really upsets me. I mean, I think people need to remember the not the unsung heroes, but when someone can carry from a role that doesn't necessarily carry, such as an Orianna, or like here, like an Orianna, or a Rek'Sai, or even a Maokai. I remember a game watching with SKT where I think he TP'd in 5v1, delayed them long enough so that the team could res up and come back and eventually win the game, and just things like that. I mean, but that won't go as big as someone getting a quadra kill or something. It's quite saddening. So, enough talking about that. So, what's happening? Blue buff handoff, first one. Syndra's got hers. Thingy's got hers. Orianna. I don't agree with this. I mean, I kind of see why they're going Rod of Ages Orianna to get health to stack against the ult. But I mean, you're scaling too much now. You've just got no damage. This is a time bomb. I wouldn't be surprised if TSM won this game. Although, like, Team Liquid look to be fighting this, but they're going scaling into a team comp that scales better than they do. Yeah, I don't understand these pickups by people. They're like, I need to survive in lane, instead of going like, what does my team need? It's really surprising to me. I mean, the Na's going tanky, that's okay. But I mean, you're just going to have this Tankench is going to get to a point where you can't kill him. Why the flip is he bought Swifty's first item? That is so stupid. Like, what the hell? The combat stats are real, boys. That's a really good. Oh, he should get him here. Ah, Spooky Ghost, never mind. Yeah, Spooky Ghosts. Yeah, buddy. I don't know if you guys know, if you type Spooky Ghosts into your thing. That's just such a great, that's a really great gank, and that's a terrible bard ult by Yellow Star there. Once again proving that he is a great shot caller, a great support, but terribly mechanical sometimes. Notice how I say sometimes. Notice, don't start raging at me. Right, okay, that's a really good. Wow. Great Syndra play there. Well done. Yeah, that was a really good Syndra play. Did he burn flash? Wow, he predicted the flash. That was pretty good. I'm in pretty much awe of that. So what Team Liquid looking to do? I don't understand Team Liquid's draft. I think it's very outdated. I think this is a draft for Season 5 in Season 6. So I think that's pretty bad. I don't think they've got enough tower pressure. I don't think they've got enough scaling damage. I don't think they've got enough tank damage. Not that the tank has any fucking items at the moment. Sorry for the swearing then again, guys. I'm not sorry, but I need to kind of not get age restricted on this. That was a terrible Ezreal. Better off pushing your own lane with it than going for cross-map shenanigans. It's just going to get picked off again here. That was a really so good gank there by Svenskeren. I can see double left getting killed on this Ezreal. He's really too far forward. Yeah, and Town Kench is rolling with a double kill. He's going to start getting some items. Piglet's in the top lane. Piglet the carry. Piglet, I need every scrap of gold on the map because I'm a world champion. I mean, yeah, I don't understand this team comp by Team Liquid. I think it points out Locodoco's really bad coach. Well, I don't know about him as a coach, but as a pick banner, I don't know what the hell Team Liquid do with their support staff when it comes to, like, they did this like last season, like, unless they got like their one thing, they just never really seem to have a great idea on what to do with the drafts. They went from Peter Zhang to, who was, again, he had like the same problems that I think that Locodoco has at the moment. This is a really great gank. They do well by getting the tower here. That's a better Bard ult. Notice how I said sometimes before, but I mean, like, Team Liquid last year would fall down with bad drafts, and now they've employed someone who was notoriously bad at drafting. I think drafting is such an important part of the game at the moment. I'm not saying it like that's where you win or lose the game, but you set yourself up to win or lose a lot easier. I don't know who wins or loses this game, but I'm going to predict it's Team Liquid by the draft. Let's see if I'm right. Just because of how well TSM will scale into the late game with their Syndra pick potential, their Ezreal slow, like they're kind of the disengage. They've got these three champions. Well, all their team is disengage. They've got good engage with the Syndra and the Bard and the Rek'Sai, and they've got absolutely great scaling with the Tahm Kench. You should never give away Tahm Kench in this day and age. If you give away a Tahm Kench, you're setting yourself up to lose, unless, because no one's really found an answer to it at the moment. I've got a few ideas, but things like Mundo and Tahm Kench are just so strong. I think as well, people very... I'm going to go on this rant again. Like, people sit there in champs, in normal games or ranked games, and they go, this tank is too strong, I can't kill it. But you've built Infinity Edge Longshot. Sorry, what do you call it? Oh dear, what do you call it? Rapid Fire Cannon, the worst name for an item in the game. So you build Rapid Fire Cannon, and that, of course you're not going to kill a 2-item Tahm Kench in like 5 seconds. That's the point of Tahm Kench. If you don't build to kill him, you're not going to kill him. And you've got to think to yourself, like, an AD carry who's positioning correctly, who's he going to hit? He's going to hit the big tank. This is why Blue Ezreal's come back and is really good. He's not so great into this team comp. I wouldn't have picked him into this team comp. I would have gone for Tristana, like I said before, because you need kind of instant disengage. But Ezreal into these big tanks is very strong at the moment, because he builds Blade of the Rune King, he gets the slow from the blue build, and he just can poke and siege and wave clear okay. He's a really good pick at the moment, and I you know, for competitive, I think people should start looking to him more, instead of this, yeah, like, Lucian's probably the best 1v1 AD carry at the moment, but I mean, he's just inherently strong with his culling buffs and his with the culling buffs and the build path, but he can't actually get through tanks. So I mean, it's a bit kind of odd. Right, so they're looking to yeah, like this Frozen Hammer buy. I do not understand this in the slightest. I get that you want to kite around the Tahm Kench, but your team comp is looking to team fight and using you as an engage potential. You have bought a frozen hammer. So yeah, I would have gone for anything but. I mean, not a bad vibe, don't get me wrong, but you're not playing against a Darius, and you're part of an engaged teamfight comp. It's not a great draft. This is really a really bad draft. Like, the longer I look at this, the more I'm like, oh god, this is a terrible draft. Alistar, Lucian, fine. You know, Elise, fine. But yeah, I would have gone for a Mundo personally instead of that Elise. But you know, what do I know? I'm just a guy with a YouTube channel. Yeah, double lift way out of position here. Good dodging by Piglet. Piglet's such a mechanical good champion, but he just does what I was saying before, where he'll just build for like the 1v1 and be like, why am I doing no damage to this front line? And it's like, well, because you're not building to damage the front line. So, yep, smart move here. They're using the Lucian a bit like a Corki, which then makes me wonder, why are you not playing Corki? Like, you've got a Lucian in a side lane looking to shove down towers. Play Corki. Yeah. I mean, Lucian should be used as kind of a fill-all. If you're looking to kind of do that sort of thing with AD carries, you should be playing Corki or Tristana. My preference being Corki, but you know, I mean, that throws a mallet, does nothing if he's jumped on top of you. Yeah, like, I don't know. Is it Tank Elise or is it can't actually see. I think that's AP Elise with a yeah, I don't understand this hybrid build either, like one or the other. I mean, in my opinion, if you're going to go like Runic Echoes into tank, why are you picking Elise? Oh, you're picking her for early game prowess. Okay, well, maybe pick Lee Sin. Oh, you don't want someone who's doing that, but you want some sort of AP threat. Well, pick a better AP mid laner, or pick pick Gragas. Like, have people forgotten how good Gragas is early game? And he's a tanky mother trucker, and like, I think as well, people like Strength of Ages at the moment is actually ridiculously strong for junglers, especially with kind of how long you get to sit in your kind of respective thing and do things. Like, Gragas' ganks are very potent. He's a very good ganker. He can do a lot. He's got zone control. He's got... So I'm going to stop ranting here, because I don't understand where a lot of these drafts even come from thematically. I don't understand what the support staff of the team are doing. Do they just sit down with their players and say, what do you want to play, instead of like going what's strong and analysing what's strong and picking around what's strong? I don't know if someone can actually answer me that. I don't know. If you can, leave a comment about what you think's going on. But you need to, like, I'm not saying look to Korea, but the reason why people say look to Korea is because Korea have a great idea on what's strong and then how to play around or counter what is strong. They're not just playing, say, Varus mid because they feel like it, which it feels like a lot of Western teams do, especially in NA. I think the Syndra pick here is really good, because she kind of does this thing that like a lot of mids need. I don't think she's as strong as other mids for this point, but she's a very good pick. I like the Syndra pick. I actually really like TSM's team comp. This is a very good team comp. Team Liquid's on the other hand is very bad. But if someone can, like, you know, explain to me what the hell is going on with like a lot of NA's pick bans. I thought Immortals in their first game had a really good pick ban. I don't actually have it downloaded. I would go over that, but it was a bit of a clown fiesta game. Like, one team got really far ahead and it was a stomp, and people seem to think those are good games. Because I'm looking into why things happen, what things happen. I mean, if you just look at stomps all the time, or you look to stomp all the time, you're never going to learn about the game. Always look at mistakes and what happens, and ask yourself, why did that happen? So, I mean, I don't seem to understand where this kind of this kind of mentality comes from in NA, with kind of average is good enough. It might be that they're looking that it's more of a business than it is to actually compete, like, which actually really surprises me. It doesn't, and it does for NA. If you think things like Olympic Games, they have so many people who compete in Olympics who do well and they want to compete, but then again you've got like the other side where America looks a lot of the time to make money, you know, very kind of like money driven motives. So I think it's very saddening that they're not looking to compete and they're not looking to employ infrastructure. They're just saying, well, we can like, what's the point in employing the same people who've done an average job at something else? Take a chance. Like, it can't be much worse than someone who's already proven that they're not great, in my opinion. So here comes a big team fight. This is a really good team fight. Wow. This is what Team Liquid are looking to do, but this is like 1 in a million, and it's before Team TSM have gotten tanky. Okay, I mean, Piglet's done really well positioning there. He hasn't died. Yep. So that was that's the perfect situation. Wow, spaghetti right there. Jesus Christ. I think that missed the NA model just, and then hit him, and then hit around the side. But like, once they actually get to a tower, or that TSM gets a late game, they're going to have no pressure on it, and this is the problem. They have to get an ace or a good 3v5 or something to win the game, or to get an objective, and this is part of the problem with the team comp I can foresee. So they might be ahead now. How have they fought? They're okay ahead of goal, but I think I'm predicting TSM will win this game, just purely off the picks. Although, never underestimate the level that Double Lift will jump into a fight 1v5 for a 1 Ezreal Q or something. Okay. Again, I don't like the blue trinket on your split push top lane. I don't think that's a good thing. Rightio, so let's have a look at some player builds. I still don't like the NA build, but it's getting better. I just don't like the Frozen Mallet rush on NA. I don't think it gives him anything of what he needs. It's not great in the 1v1, it's not great in the 5v5, which is what Team Liquid is looking to do. For heavy CC, heavy engage, heavy, like, kind of... Yeah, I can just see Team Liquid just completely falling off, especially that Orianna has Merc Dreads as well. It's just going to do no damage in about 5-10 minutes compared to a Syndra or compared to the Ezreal, especially to the front line. Like, Na's a great pick. He does get tanky, but he gets tanky in a way that you have to play around. So it's very dangerous. This is good jungle coordination here. They know TSM's backed, so they're going to get the vision. Or at least deny vision. You should always put vision down when you deny it. And they're not, even though they have vision to put down. It's really bad. Always protect your split pushers with wards. Very important. So they're looking here to pressure tower. But you see, they've got no pressure around the tower. They've got absolutely nothing that can stop them coming up and defending the tower. While TSM has a lot to get them off the tower. The only thing I can see is on Orianna Shockwave, but that's under a tower. See, so they push him in, but Syndra's here, she's just going to wave clear. Ezreal's here. See, there's nothing they can do to, and here comes the Bard ult, but this is the Team Liquid team fight. Here we go, but they can't kill this front line. That took so much to kill the 2 tanks. That took so much. Which is now just going to leave, you know, like, and bam, 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 the Syndra machine gun. Like, it looks like Team Liquid's doing really, really well at the moment, but if you actually think about what they had to burn there, like, Syndra hadn't been burned. They were just basically stood in front of them, taking all the things, and here comes the... Oh, Double Lift, that's way out of position. Yeah, that's not a Team Liquid play, that's a TSM bad play. Yeah, that's so terrible. That was bad shot calling. Double Lift going way too far forward. But this is what I mean about Team Liquid's comp. They can't do anything to the tower, and they have to burn so much to get through the tanks that when they do actually get a pick, they can go do something. But this is really like mid-season 5 team comp. It's not evolved with the times at all. So yeah, I mean, if you had a Corki in there, Corki could push people off the towers, do a lot more tower damage. If you have some bigger tank in the, if you have something in the mid lane that can wave clear better and actually do late game damage, that would be a lot better. So, yeah, see, look, Shockwave, Alistar ult's popped, everything's popped, here comes the culling, everything. I mean, what is he doing there? What a nerd. That was terrible, he should have pressed his E. Should have just walked away, not even worth. Just base, get your health back, come back. Terrible. More I look at Haunter, the more it's just like, what are you doing? Doesn't get the poke. Right, so they're doing the right thing here by chasing and stopping the backs. But the problem here is this point. How far forward is he? Wow. Holy double lift. And then Yellow Star's too far forward. And then Bjergsen just gets caught. There's nothing he can do about that. GG, team too heavy, report ×9. Ezreal. So, TSM's just looking to scale up here. They've got good wave clear in Ezreal and Syndra. So they're just looking to scale here. Get to a point where, because they know Team Liquid can't kill them after a certain point, especially this weird Elise build. Like Runic Echoes into like tank is like, why are you playing Elise? Build a tank, get a tank who can build tank and do damage off being tanky, like Mundo. Oh, great surprise that. See, they just get shoved off the tower too easily, even with their massive advantage. They've got 4k ahead and they're getting shoved off the tower. It's really, really bad. This is just warning signs to me. If Team Liquid win this will be like, oh, wow, that. See, but that's what I mean. Like that, they're looking for those kind of things, but they really have to burn so much. See, and now Tam Kench, you can just waddle up and go like, you know, oh, my delicious rejectory, and just, yep, and he's just taking everything, and yep, they get a bard, which isn't bad for Team Liquid. But if you notice the fights before were going like, you know, Team Liquid would get 3 kills, Team Liquid would get 4 kills, and maybe 1 towards TSM, you know, but now they barely get 1. And they have to burn so much to do that. So I mean, and with a great Orianna ult as well on the Syndra. So it's looking a lot shaky here. So let's just see how this plays out. And they're not even getting the objectives. And this is the thing, they're not getting the dragons. They're not. It's not like they're playing around 5 dragons. They haven't got 2 of the dragons. If they had 3 dragons here, I wouldn't be so pessimistic that they were going to lose this. But I really think Team Liquid's going to lose this. Because Lucian again. Another thing. Lucian is buying a Bloodthirster into a Tam Kench full tank Rek'Sai. That's just no. Buy Blade of the Ruined King, lads. Buy it. It's a full health Tam Kench. You're gonna rip him to shreds. Just do it. Not first item if you don't have to, but just do it. Oh, for the love of God. This is painful to watch. Oh, why do I review NA games? Oh dear. Right, anyway, enough of that. So Team Liquid are looking for this big team fight again. They've had a couple of good team fights, but they've all just been these kind of like, and now the perfect kind of shockwave, and it's like, that can only ever happen so many times in a game. Unless it's one of those games, and we'll see if it is one of those games. So TSM looking to get Baron Vision here. They're looking to double F's too far forward, but you know, it's getting the slows. This is the power of Blue Ezreal at the moment with high rank tank immobile tanks. He can just kite them about, and he builds Bork as well. Although he hasn't. Why have you not built a Bork, mate? That's terrible. I guess the QSS isn't bad, but you should build QSS into Bork. That's a really good bard stun. But yeah. Yeah. So they're just kind of dancing around each other at the moment. Just keep dancing, just keep dancing. Yep. I mean, TSM will scale harder. The longer this game goes on, the more I see TSM winning this game, even with the 3k gold deficit. You can't kill this Tam Kench on the side of Team Liquid now. and if they do, it will be like the biggest TSM like misplay. So yeah, Team Liquid are just looking for this like this godlike Orianna ult into, you know, this, that, the other, where they kill all the back line and da 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 da. Bard rotations OP. So, looking for the fight, looking for the fight. Team Liquid are just looking for the fight. And here they come, they're looking for it, they get a pick on Bjergsen, but then Tam Kench unbench that Kench. And now they have to go too deep. And they just can't kill this thing, and they're just going to kite them backwards. Bards, Syndra, and boom. Don't know how he doesn't die there, because I think half the Syndra ult didn't go off or something. But they're just kiting them back. Look, look, Tam Kench, full health. Ezreal's too far forward. There we go, here comes the counter engage. Can they do it? Maybe. Yeah, here we go. See, that's what I'm talking about. They'll just kite them for long enough to just re-engage once the cooldowns are down. So, they make up a bit of gold, they get a third dragon, more movement speed, more kiting, more engage. So Team Liquid aren't even fighting around the objective well enough to be able to pull off this sort of comp. It's outdated, it's bad. Pick poke, pick zone, pick anything that isn't team fight at the moment if you're going into like rank 5s when they put the queues back up. So let's have a think here. Team Liquid just need to get this perfect fight. Like, they're looking for the Baron here, but it's all boarded up. There's just nothing they can do about this. I don't like this Elise build at all. It's halfy and there's no point doing halfy. So Tam Kench. And then the Elise goes too far forward. Oh, sorry, but Bars disengage against the big engage with the Syndra disengage. Oh no, it does all go off. It's just a really bad Ezreal ult. So yeah, they're just, I mean, TSM's just looking to disengage this. I mean, the Tam Kench's going to come in now. He's just too tanky. Double lift's too far forward there. They get the slow, and then that's the end of thingy. But Orianna's just done a few ults, but after the ult, she just doesn't have any damage. With the Rod of Ages build especially. She had to go Void Staff for, what's it, second item or something. Here we go, and an ult onto a Tam Kench. She's just doing Tam Kench things. Here comes the Rek'Sai. Oh, it's a really good Bard ult that. Split the team up. Coming for the pill. Really good ult. Oh wow, that's the perfect fight. Wow. They got the back line. If they didn't get that back line, that would have been game. They're looking for the thing now. That's a really bad positioning by TSM to get counter engaged like that. I'd like to see what happened there actually. Team Liquid might actually win this game. They should get the tower off this and the inhib. And then look to rotate bot. Always look, once you're at an objective, look where your next objective will go. So if you look here, they're at the inhib, where can they go now? They can go bot. Or they can go for Baron, which is a good play as well. I didn't see the Baron. Oh, I'm so good at this game, look at me tell you what to do. And then I made the wrong call. So good at this game, guys. Pink wards. Get it. Oh, this could be risky. This is definitely the wrong call with the Syndra being up. Nah, coming for the, what do you call it? The jungler and the Syndra up. I mean, here comes the Nah. Okay, they got it. That was actually okay. It's a lot better than I thought it would be. I thought Syndra would be able to get in there. You just disengage now. If you're Team Liquid, you look to split push the bot lane. Or the top lane actually, because the bot lane will get shoved out in a second. So you'll look to go top after this. I just don't understand what NA do sometimes. Like this, like, okay, so you get the pick onto fit, but no one engages on top. So they get the thing, and then bang, yeah, they blow too much on the Alistar of all people, and it's a great Gnar ult. It's an absolute, and their team's too far forward. They just get engaged upon. They just don't play that very well. TSM. They blow too much on the Alistar. That's just a misplay by TSM more than it is a great Team Liquid play or an outplay. They just play very badly. So Team Liquid now looking to smash that top lane in with their Baron buff. Again, still no Piglet's now gone for the Infinity Edge and does not have any sort of shred. So you can just still see Haunter just getting too much for Team Liquid to deal with. How much of this video is left? Oh, they might actually do it. I don't know. Do they actually lose? I'm gonna have to eat. Was it crow pie or something? I know it's eat humble pie. Eat crow. That's the one. Eat crow pie. We should just start saying that. So they're looking to siege down the tower here, but they've got no pressure on this tower by the Baron buff. Like they can't shove TSM away. They just have the Baron buff. See, they can't go up to the tower. This will let TSM back into the game. Although the yellow star's too far forward, but Tam Kench. See, if you had a Corki in there, Corki would just shred that tower so much faster. He'd give you poke under tower. It's like the game at the moment is so revolved around who can take towers better and who can siege better, I think, or who can pick better. And Liquid's team is just not designed around this, so they're gonna, I think at one point their team fight is just not gonna pay off and they're gonna lose. That would be my prediction. I like not watching these games actually and going into them. I think I should do this more often instead of watching them. So let's have a look. So they've got the Syndra wave clear. They've got I think TSM's comp's really strong. They've got good disengage. They've got good everything. It's a really solid draft. They should never have got that Tam Kench. That should have been banned instead of the Rise. If you force a team onto the Rise, play poke. Play zone control and poke. Like, why do you need like to play Rise, or why do you need to play this kind of? Why do you not ban Tam Kench? Red side first ban Tam Kench. Good job. Let's do it. Like, okay, so Team Liquid really haven't done much with this Baron. They took a tower. Sorry again. A bit tired. So they took a tower. By taking a tower, I think, you know, not much gold's accumulated from that. They should have done a lot more, but they don't have the means to do a lot more, and this is the problem. They don't have a good comp to push down towers, which this meta is just really revolving around. So they're still looking for a pick in a team fight, and it's just getting harder and harder for them to get that miraculous team fight like they've had a couple of times in a row. So they're looking for it's the dragons live. They're going to try and stop TSM getting 4 dragons here. They've got a better team comp for this. This is what they should have been focused around the whole game. They've got a Gnar split pushing in the top, they've got a team fight composition, and they get the dragon. They should look to disengage this now. They should not look to fight. Don't look to fight. Why are you fighting? That's a really good Bard ult. But Gnar's in the top lane. Here he comes. Why are you fighting this? They're just going to kite you backwards. Why are you fighting this? You're just going to get poked down. Disengaged. Yeah, see? And our TSM come with the map pressure. They've burnt so many ultimates. Liquid, they don't have Mega Gnar. They burnt the culling, they burnt the Alistar ult for absolutely nothing. So, let's have a look at what's going on here, shall we? So this is what I mean. TSM's got pressure under the tower. They can push you away from the tower. They've got poke, they've got disengage, they've got engage. They've got good zone with the Syndra, so they're not doing it now because they're pretty low. Well, they're not low, but they've got a lot of mana issues. I don't know how double lifters like all the time. Turn off your mana mune. Jesus Christ. So Liquid again looking for the god fight. Boop, 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 boop. Why not throw your ult on Ezreal? It's got like a 30-second cooldown that you reduce with Qs. So again, Team Liquid looking to back off. All the time they back off. This is in TSM's favour. They get to recoup, they get to heal up, they get tankier. And yeah, Piglet's buying a Hex Shrinker. This is again, like, this is how people build when they're like so focused on winning lane as a player, and they're so focused in 1v1s. he is not going to be able to kill anything. What do you kill as an AD carry? You kill the front line to get to the back line. That's what you need to realise. Like the way, see, that's a terrible Baron power play. It's like 1.1k. I think the average is about 4k or something. That's the fourth of what you should get. So they really should show the average. Like, another thing, Riot's stat team are terrible. They show you so little. I want to go in and view stuff, but they don't. Like, they don't actually let you do anything. So yeah, and another thing, another one. The Alistar has had to pick up the Engage tool here, which makes him a lot less tanky. So, I mean, personally, I would have maybe gone with. I mean, you just need to be tanky. Like, tanks need to be tanky in this day and age. Teamfight comps are really, really past it. Like, unless the meta shifts back to be more Dragon and Gerald focused, I mean, they're really past it. So the power of, like, Nar's still a good pick for the zone control, disengage, engage and things he gives, but like, and kind of he's really good at countering a top laner for a 4-1 or something. See, look how much damage they're doing to this Tamken. They're throwing everything at him and they can do absolutely nothing. And even the Rek'Sai is so tanky. Here comes the TSM engage. Be interested to see what Reddit has to say about this afterwards. They usually get completely the wrong thing of the game. So here comes the disengage. The disengage is strong. That at least is so halfy. She can't tank anything. She can't do any damage. So, and they can't kill the Tamken. What did I say? I predicted this. Are they going to get the disengage or is it going to be the mad engage? Oh, that was a terrible Orianna. Oh, this, yeah, okay. And here comes the re-engage and the kite. Boop. Yep, predicted it. Knew this would happen. It's almost like Piglet. You can't kill the front line. The Prophet. Call me Crumbs. Oh, oh, that's beautiful. Who did that? Who bought that item on TSM? Take a bow double lift. That is glorious. That is wave control 101. That is brilliant. No one does that anymore. Look at that. Double cannon creep, slow push from the bot lane for the. Oh, that is beautiful. I like that. That's very nice. That's a happy little split push right there. That's a happy little split push. So they're going to take the game here, I think. Yeah, this is game. This is like, if you build solely on winning, you'll lose half the time because you'll never win every time. If you're constantly looking to always outplay and always win, you will only win half the time. If you have some form of way of coming back into the game with kite, with tower control, with zone, with peel, you will win more likely, in my opinion. This is stop because I stopped it there. Yeah, I bet people on Reddit were going like, oh, it's really sad that Team Liquid didn't win. Well, they didn't set themselves up to win. They had the wrong comp. They had the wrong damage. They had everything that was wrong. Right, okay. This should be going. So I'm going to play a ad. Going to play an ad here, guys. I'm sorry for not seeing the chat here. Really sorry for this. I can't actually see the chat. I'm going to play another ad. I'll be back and we'll do the next game, which is Dig versus CLG. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, guys. I am back. Right. Dig versus CLG, let's go. Wrong player again. 3 out of 3, we did it. Sorry for the hoovering. Someone's hoovering. Right, I have no idea, again, no idea who wins this game. My prediction will be CLG, but let's look at the draft. Lulu ban. Nah. That's a better ban. Gangplank wouldn't ban Lulu on blue side, you get first pick of it. Rise, again, bad ban. Play around it. Tamkench, better ban. These are good bans. These are bad bans. Especially considering the side they're on. If you prioritise Rise, if you ban it on blue side, you're just saying you can't play it, which then makes future bans against you easy because you just leave it up. You either take it away from you, or you pay, or you just leave it off the table and get a free ban. So, if we have a look, Rek'Sai, not ban worthy. Twisted Fate, yeah, it's okay depending on what can happen. And that's a really good pick, first pick, Fiora. I don't like their bans, so I think these dig bans are really terrible. So, let's see what happens here. Oh, would you ban? First pick, Fiora. Quinn's a counter pick that's come up in Korea against a Fiora. But what do you pick into Fiora? Olaf does terribly, as seen by Fnatic versus thingy. I wouldn't pick Riven into it. That's a deadly. That's. I mean, it's a beautiful thing, but Riven's terrible at the moment. She's not worth it in the current competitive meta game. Yeah, that's a better first pick, but I wouldn't pick it into the top lane. That should be going mid lane, and that Poppy should be flex, jungle, or support. That's a good flex pick. Oh, I should put this full screen. Very sorry. I'm kind of new to this. So, okay. Do that Riot employee over there looks like he works in a bar. It looks like his name's Roy. Okay. You're out there, Roy. Okay. So, what are they gonna pick? Come on. I have to fill my time with non-interesting things here. I think the Elise here is very good because it gets the Fiora rolling. The Ezreal's pretty good, but personally, Ezreal. Yes, I'd pick Ezreal. If you go blue build Ezreal here, it builds into Fiora's kind of wheelhouse and it makes her better. It kind of, Fiora wants to kite back and then kind of go back on you, or just full out go on top of you, and Ezreal does that really well. Elise is good at getting the early pressure down, which allows her Fiora to flourish. Lucian for against the Ezreal. Ezreal. Sorry, burping a little bit. Lucian into. I mean, you have to pick your AD carry here. I'd go Corki here because it's still a flex pick. What could you counter Fiora with here? No, I would not have taken the Lucian. I would have gone Corki. That's a misplay. And also, yeah, I would have gone Corki and then Braum or Trundle. Would I have gone Trundle? I would have definitely gone Corki because it still allows flex pick. It still flexes your main 3 roles, and then I would have maybe taken would I have taken Braum into a Fiora, into an Ezreal? It's good into the Ezreal, don't get me wrong. But Ezreal's kind of like continued sort of punishment. It's not like a Jace or a Misfortune. So they pick up the thing. I would have flexed the Poppy thing and then gone for a... Well, they took away Rek'Sai, so I would have gone for a Gragas or something. More zone control. Poppy's alright. What support would I have taken? Maybe a Nautilus? You really need to peel the flip out of that Fiora. Honestly though, what counters Fiora? Can someone please answer me? Because she can block all your CC, she's so mobile, she does true damage, so you can't out-tank her, you can't kite her, and you can't CC her to death. So what do you pick? If someone could tell me, that would be great, because I'm really struggling. Maybe, yeah, Teemo, definitely. Teemo support to counter that, no. So, yeah. I would have gone for a range support, because it does block the Trundle a bit, but they've gone for that. It's alright. The Jax here is terrible. Jax is going to get completely curb stomped because you've got a non-pressure early game jungler. Yeah, no, that's bad. Okay. That's bad. Okay. That's really bad. That's a really bad pick. I like the Ahri on their side. The Ahri is good. It's low frontline, this team, but it's looking to snowball, so they should have realised this and not gone for a snowbally champion and just gone for a big frontline, in my opinion. I still think they shouldn't have taken the Lucian. They should have taken a Corki and gone for a siege comp. The Braum's actually okay. I think the Braum's okay. The Braum's pretty good. The Braum is pretty good. Gone for more zone control. I mean, you could have gone for a Misfortune as well and gone full out siege. I mean, Fiora can't do dick all if you just blow up everyone around her and take the towers. Yeah, I don't like the Lucian. The Lucian's really bad. Could have gone for a Kalista. Ignore the cat that's meowing in front of me. If you can hear it on the microphone. So, happy fans. Let's get hype, yeah! One thing American fans do well is they get hype for over ridiculous circumstances. Everything's hype all the time. I have no idea who wins this game, but based off the draft, I'm going to go for... Well, it kind of depends. If you're going literally purely off paper, I would say that Dignitas have the upper hand because they've got the early game jungler to pair with a Fiora into a better split push into decent siege. But you never know, and CLG are a very good macro team, and if they play around wave clearing through mid and getting the Jax up, I think it could be an answer to Fiora, but I mean, it's so risky this, especially with Poppy not being as early game prowess as Lissandra. Elise. So they're looking for deep invading wards here. So it's just mirrored on the top side, looking for the lane swap. Because they're looking to lane swap CLG, they're looking to 2v2 to press their advantage. Let's see who does what. Right, so they know that Ezreal's going bot side. Or do they? Do. If Ezreal ran up, they wouldn't make it there in time. So, really? Okay. Okay. So they're looking to they've literally just lane swapped their dominant lane, their dominant 2v2 into a would I have done that? No, and here's why no. You've got a pressure advantage in bot lane. You've literally picked your Braum and your bot lane to counter their bot lane, and then you're not using the counter in bot lane to its advantage because you're looking to choke out this Fiora. You knew. It's not like Fiora was dumped on you last rotation, you kind of had to swap things around. You knew Fiora was coming, but you still yeah, I don't like this at all. This is really bad. So mid lane's just going to be a farm fiesta with Lissandra and Ahri. Ahri's going to look for some nice sweet charms, but you know, you never know. Ari's really strong at the moment. She's like one of the assassins you can play with, like LeBlanc and things, but she has decent wave clear and siege and pick and things. Sorry, my really loud drinking. Yeah, I think she's pretty good into Lissandra as well, but Lissandra just wants to shove the wave here, get as much CS as she can. See, here we go. Has to burn the flash. Has TP. I wouldn't have taken TP into this matchup. They're trying to do exactly the same thing that they did in the last game, CLG, but Dignitas's team doesn't really fit into that because they've got answers for all the split push and they've got a better lane presence. So CLG have to give away their advantage. See, I would have just picked a safe top laner and lane swapped it. If you're gonna lane swap, you take a safe top laner. You take some sort of zone control tank, or even just a NA, or something like along those lines that kind of counters their sort of thing. I just think that's really bad and really like short-sighted. Who could they have taken? Last pick, who was available? I mean, I know it goes completely against what Zion Spartan wants to play, but you could take Nautilus and you could just completely shut down the Fiora, because yeah, she can put a riposte down, but you have slow, you have a root, you have a grip, you have an ult that can completely think. This is, what are you doing there, you absolute muppet? Holy moly. This is why you don't go that far forward without deep, without wards to see where people are coming from. Burn to heal. You shouldn't burn heal, they should just die. Answer in the bottom on Kiwi Kid. He's in a better position, but he should still realise that they're going to look to make a play. This is greed here, this could be really bad. This is some serious greed-eroni. No, that's okay. That could have been very bad if Dig had this shit together. Sorry again, shouldn't swear. Gonna get 18 mature content slapped on this video probably. Fiora's getting an advantage now. This is really bad for CLG. Fiora's got a 5 creep wave advantage. That's a really good pillar. Here comes the jerks. Yeah, but Ezreal can just disengage from him. Who wants a piece of the champ? Okay, so Dignitas have an 800 gold lead already, and they're looking to. There we go, and he can do absolutely. You should never let, if you're gonna pick a Jax and you lane swap it away, you have to. It's like, it's what happened in the previous game with CLG. So you lane swap away the Jax to take away his bad early game, but you've got the split push advantage in going into the late game, right? They don't have the advantage. They either have to snowball, stomp ahead, or they get the advantage. They've done neither, so they're probably going to lose this game in my opinion, because Fiora's just too strong. I think you should ban Fiora in this day and age. It's too strong of a pick to leave up, unless their team can't or won't play it. And even if they do, you can do things like you can just take a complete no frills top laner such as a Nautilus or a Tam Kench or something and completely shut it down. Yeah, that's a kill. Did he burn flash? No, he didn't, but he shouldn't have been there. And did get a mid tower. This is a really good rotation here by Dignitas. They've got really good early game map pressure. They're using it very well. Hopefully they don't make a Baron call to lose the game. Really good. The Ezreal pick into this Jax is pretty good as well into the 2v1. He can never jump on the Ezreal if he saves his E and uses it at the right time. So, big wave into Fiora. Fiora's going to look to recoup this loss that she's got. They're going to look to shove this top lane wave with the Trundle, who's good at shoving towers, and the Elise. This is smart. You loyal. They're going to buy the whole family houses with all this gold that they've got. So, yeah, Dignitas, they've started to scale, and they're scaling a little bit better. Like, this is why I wouldn't have taken the Lucian, because A, it shows where your things are going to go. This is kind of one of CLG's drafting problems, is they always leave on red side their top lane to be the counter pick. They value Zion Spartan's like 1v1 carry potential, like it's some sort, like he's some sort of like god that needs to be like pandered for. Like, if your ego's so big that you can't play a tank in for your team, I think you need to reassess how you like kind of you know, being a pro or something. You're not, unless you're like, you know, the best pretty much, and you can play like Riven into this meta or something. You're just that good. Like, I think you need to learn like when the meta is that and when the meta isn't that. And like I said before, that's what's going to separate the great players from the not so great players. If you can play like, if you can just pick up whatever's meta, you will do so much better than someone who has to, like, if you think about like players who were like pegged to be the best and then just suddenly fell off, you have to ask yourself, why did they suddenly fall off? And the answer is the meta doesn't suit them. Think about Fox last season, when he was big, assassins like Zed and LeBlanc could be played in the mid lane very frequently when SK Gaming were at their best. And when the end of the season was there, he was terrible because you basically had to play control mages. And now he's getting good again because he can last pick Zed into the mid lane. So the great players are the ones who can just stick around in any meta, such as a Froggen or, you know, something like that. I can just play whatever. Well, Froggen kind of has the same problem. He's okay on assassins. Like, he's a good player, but he's never going to be like, you know, Faker. I mean, Faker just plays anything. He's like one of these people. So Dig are looking to make picks here. They've got the low advantage. What is he doing here? You've against a Fiora at least. You have no vision, and they're going to burn TP as well for this. Are they going to get him? They should get him. Wow, that was actually a really bad. They should have backed off from that. That was really bad. Wow. That went from being like the worst positioning ever to like, holy moly, how did he die? Okay, that was I think, but that papers over the cracks of CLG. That's what I'm trying to say. That was such a bad play to be there by Lucian on his own with no vision. And they're not pushing the tower. Okay. Well, I guess they want to bounce it, but is it too late for it? But they're going to lose the top tower, like. Oh, and it's not even. And they're going to. Oh, that's so much wasted time. That hurts because it's not even going to bounce. That's the bad thing about that. Is he going to eat him away? Yep, well done. Well done, Kiwi Kid, keeping him there. This is what I mean. You should have just shoved the tower and backed, ran away and backed. This is really bad. That is so bad. That is greed. That's like we can make the perfect play, but it's not the time for the perfect play. It's time to just get a tower in GTFO. Like, yeah, that's why I don't like the Jax into this match, because he has to build so like carry to be part of this team, to be the split push. That's really bad. It's like he's just getting battered. Yeah, so he has to build like really offensive to get into this game, but Fiora can just build offensive while being tanky, while like, so Fiora is just a better version of Jax at the moment, I think. If you pick one to play Fiora, because she's a Rito waifu and she'll never get nerfed. So I think like at the moment, looking at this, they just have a better team. They've had a better draft, and they've had a better thing. Like, I think the Lucian was a bad pick. You should go for the Corki, like I said before, and the Jax is just a bad pick. Everything else is okay. Like, but it's, I mean, this is what I don't understand about people's drafting. It's almost like, what do you want to play, instead of being like, what's good for the team. Like, I mean, if you've almost got like 3 champions that fit one style and 3 champions that fit another style, and then there's something else in there, and it just doesn't really like mesh together. Like, I mean, if you pick the Lucian, that's just like, Lucian's almost this kind of, he's this nothing AD carry, because he kind of doesn't do anything special but does everything okay. He's jack of all trades, master of none. Like, it's very kind of, he's very kind of like singular in what he does. He just kind of, yeah, he provides nothing, and at the moment, like, he's just there to kind of pick when you don't really know what to pick, because he does a bit of everything, which isn't a bad thing. So here comes the dive. They're looking for the dive. That's really bad layering of CC. That's wasted too much CC. But CLG seem to be doing quite well. Taking towers, taking early towers. But Fiora's ahead, and this is the problem. Fiora's ahead. And this is where I believe that I think Fiora's just going to split push out of control and win this game. Because Ari's got an advantage in the mid lane in the matchup. She's down on CS, but she's got an advantage in the matchup. And there's just going to be a point where they can't even siege towers. They can wave clear a little bit against towers, but they're focusing too much on split push at the moment, CLG. Who's coming to help him with this? Because he will die. Gerald does so much damage. So. Let's have a think here. So Dig need to fight around. They're looking for the 4-1 really, maybe a 1-3-1. You can put Ari in a side lane, but it's like 4-1 or 1-3-1. It's nice. They've got good wave clear. They've got good thing. The only thing they lack is like a really big tank. But Trundle kind of takes away the Poppy tankiness or the Braum tankiness, so it's okay. Like Trundle's a good pick into this thing with good kite, good disengage. It's a pretty good comp. Like it's disengagey enough to work without a front line. Well, CLG, it's just it's picking picks that like don't really mesh together, and that's always a bad thing. Here comes the spooky ghosts, and that's going to be a dead Lucian. No, it's not. Had to flash. Okay, so let's have a look what's going to happen here. Fiora gets caught by the thing. Here comes the culling. Just dodge out the way. It's a pretty bad culling. That's a really good Ariel. And there goes the Elise. So now they've disengaged the fight. They've burnt so much that they now can just clean it up, and that's what Dig's been looking to do. They've got such good like kind of clean up. That was a really well played fight there by Dig. Really great disengage. Just moving around, stopping all the ults. They burnt so many ults to get to them, and then by the time that like Dig go, okay, now we want to fight, there's no answer from CLG, and they've got really great like tower pushing with a Sheen, Ezreal, and a Fiora, and an Ari as well, and a Trundle. Yeah, that's really smart. Really great team fight there. And now they've got a 3k gold lead. And now what you need to start doing is, when you've got this sort of a gold lead, you need to start pursuing the fights. You need to be looking around with rotations. You need to be taking towers. And you need to be looking to take objectives. This game is won off the back of objectives and not kills. Yeah. So the main reason, I actually don't know who's going to win this game. But if CLG lose this, it's off the back of two things. It's off the back of like, you had the Fiora sitting there in the champ select from the first pick, first rotation on blue side. Build your comp around to play a Fiora. You have to build your comp around a Fiora, and you have all the time now. You have 5 picks to completely shut down the Fiora. They don't take an early game jungler. They lane swap into it while having a bad lane swap person on the other side. And they just don't shut it down well enough. They don't have good enough engage either to shut it down. And that's why I was saying they needed an engagey top lane. Like, Poppy's kind of the same, in the same boathouse, or wheelhouse, sorry, as Elise, in my opinion. Like, she's okay at engage, but she's so kind of like, she's really good at like the secondary engage. The same with Braum and things like this. Like, they're really good at peeling and really good at secondary engage, but if you try and rely on them for your primary engage, you're gonna have a bad time. Which means it's either gonna be a Jax jumping in, which you don't want. So that's what I mean about secondary engage. That's just too far forward. But then the Braum's too far forward, so he gets picked off. So this is something else I haven't seen either, in NA especially. I don't know if this is a thing, if anyone else has been doing this, but the Sightstone. I mean, the Tracker's Knife is nice, but Sightstone, like, it's still not a bad item, and it's 800 gold, and it gives you unlimited vision. So yeah, it's not bad. Right, sorry, I'm getting a bit tired here. I had a rough week. So CLG are just going to look to split push again. Like, they only seem to know how to do one strat at the moment. That's split push, which isn't a bad strat, but you need to know when to pick these comps into and when not to. If you see the enemy team is assembling a split push comp, they're gonna not always have, like, you need to not answer it, you need to demolish it. So you need to say, okay, well, they've got really low wave clear, they've got good disengage, so what do we need? We need really good hard engage and really good wave clear. Well, we've got a Lysandra, we've got, you know, a Poppy and a Braum and all this sort of stuff. What do we need in the top lane? The last thing you need is split push. That's the, like, literally like the last thing you need. So this may be CLG's weakness. I don't know if it will be their weakness, but I don't like the draft. I think it's too easily exploited. I think relying on split push top lane is very, very bad. That's a bad W, but yeah, Grand Challenge, QSS, that's why you buy QSS against thingy. So the Jax can do well into it, but Fiora misplayed. If Fiora played that better, she won that. And that's, yeah. So they're looking to take towers here, looking to get the mid-game power spike of Lucian and Lysandra going. But the Ezreal's just in the top lane, and they can just disengage any fight they come into. So yeah, they've lost the tower, but I mean, stop the backs with the Trundle. The Trundle's doing really well here, stopping the backs. He's been doing it all game, and can he get his tower? He can put a lot of pressure on this tower regardless. He might not get it, but there's still a lot of pressure before the home guards come up as well. Take the blue buff maybe. So CLG are looking to get a dragon now. Oh, there's a pick. Oh, that was a really nice dodge there by the Elise, repelling up past the Poppy ult. I don't think she should have popped ult there either. You were dead. I mean, just save your cooldowns basically at that point. Free dragon here now. Is that the first? Yeah. Right. So you're gonna get a nice little chunk of gold here for each person. You know, about 1,200, 1,300 gold or something. And he's way out of position. Yep, he's used his hop. That's chomp him. Yeah. Oh, he's managed to get away pretty well there. Nope. Too much catch, too much peel, too much disengage. So that's Dig's comp. That's what they're looking to do. They're either looking to fastly engage upon one person and pick them, or they're looking to disengage and run away. Which, into the known split pushing technique, is very good. They know CLG's wanting to split push. Which is, I mean, if you become predictable, you're going to lose games, and that's kind of the long and short of it. You need to stay on your toes, you need to come up with new strategies, you need to come up with new ideas, you need to be able to flex and draft very well. That's how you play League of Legends at the moment, and if you can't draft very well, it's a game of chess. You need to know and what to give up and how to do it. I mean, people prioritise this rise, and people give away this rise, and people don't give away the rise, but people just don't seem to realise the inherent weakness in Rise. People just seem to remember these kind of 1v1 mad outplays when he's fed, but no one remembers the Origin, you know, Origin, who was it against? Was it Rockout or something during last week? Origin thingy where they just got completely and utterly, like, bad rotation, bad everything into a siege comp that then destroyed them, like the double scaling that they picked. So I mean, it's all about a game of chess, and you need to know what you need to play around. You need to have an identification, and then you need to pick picks that completely confuse your enemy. You can give up things. You can give away the Rise. You can give away an Elise, but what you can't do is have no answer for them if you give them away, and that's what CLG's falling down to in here. They've taken them, and then they've not given them away. They've not had an answer for them. So CLG's they're still looking for the split push. You can't, like, and this is the problem. This is the inherent problem. You can't give away. You had the Fiora the whole time to have an answer to, and then not have an answer to it. Your answer is more split push against, like, the best split pusher in the game. It's really, you know, it's very bad. You should just go for wave clear at that point. So the Trundle gets picked off there. It's a really good pick. Zone control from the Braum. But the disengage is so high off Dignitas. Fiora can just outsplit push this this thing now. She's got 2 items, he's got 1 because he had to go for the counter. So the Fiora thing gets thinged. The TP's coming in. This is what CLG seem to be relying on. They always seem to be relying on the TP from the mid lane in to help the top lane. It's all about this Jax engage, and this is the inherent problem. If you either A, ban the Jax, or B, I think you ban the Lissandra and you stop them from being able to play TP mid. And if you stop them from being able to play TP mid, you shut them down. Or if you have an answer for the TP mid, which they do in the RE, if you know that they're going to TP, you take them away. Or you have good siege, so if they do TP away, you take a tower, you take 2 towers, you take an objective off that. So Jax is in the bot lane split pushing here, which Fiora should be up in a couple of seconds, so he might get a tower, but you know, they're looking to siege top, and they've got great siege. They've got an Elise, they've got Ahri, they've got an Ezreal. So he takes a tower. Looking for a bit of a bait here. That's a weird thing to show up on the scanner. Ah, they're all alone. Yeah, this is, and they got picked in the jungle with no vision. GG. If your team's playing split push, your rest of your members need to be so on the ball with having A, vision about the map, and B, not putting vision, like putting vision down at really bad times. That's just careless. That's really, really bad. Takes pressure off. All the pressure they've just created there is just gone. This Fiora should change her tank one into a healing one to deal with the Jax, because if like she can I mean, if she can just heal up his damage, it's fine, and Jax is going to get some life steal here. I know it makes you tankier, but you just have no inherent sustain, especially now that she has the Black Cleaver as well to give her the tankiness. Yeah, I don't understand this this match. I don't understand what CLG's trying to do. Is he going to get blown up here? Wouldn't be surprised if he gets blown up. She's got more items than he does. So the blue side seem to be looking around the dragon at the moment. Got the second dragon. This game is just really puzzling. Like, I don't really understand what CLG are trying to accomplish. I know they're trying to split push, but like, why? Is that all they can play? And if that is all they can play, that's a really bad like backroom staff issue. Good rotations here by Dignitas, realising that the tower was low and that they can't answer it with a push. They've got really great siege. Like the Jax can just do absolutely nothing here. This is really great. Great wave control management. Great pushing. Lissandra's in the bot lane, but Lissandra just won't push as fast as these 3 people. And are they going to take the inhib as well? I'd get out of here now. Oh, maybe not. Oh wow. That's a really good play by the Elise there. Really good kind of mechanics by the Elise. Mechanics. And they take the inhib, wow. And the Lissandra didn't even split push the bot. Wow, that's really, really terrible. Okay, so now you just need to rotate top side. You've got the bot lane tower down. You go to take the Baron. You go to choke out the game with vision and take the game. I don't understand what CLG are doing. They're just getting out rotated and outplayed around the map. I don't understand the draft. I don't understand what the hell they're doing. How long's left of this game? Not long. This is weird. So yeah, Poppy jungle. Now I like Poppy. I liked Poppy before she was cool. I'm a hipster with Poppy. But Poppy jungle, I don't think it's as good as support Poppy. I don't think it's bad by any stretch, but you have like so little early game thing, and you kind of have to position so well for your taunts in lane, your taunts, your stuns. Like it's not guaranteed CC, you know what I mean? And are they gonna get a pick? No, they're not. Good spooky ghost though. So if we see here, they're just looking to choke out vision at the moment and rotate around the top lane with the bot lane pushing, but the Jax is splitting the bottom. So this should be a sign for Dignitas to fight. Yeah, he has a TP, but I mean, this is the problem with going behind with double TP, is you're looking for map advantages, but you just can't use that because you're just getting forced into the top lane. Smart Ezreal, and here, okay, they're going to get picked off. Who's going to get picked off? So Kiwi, oh wow, that's a good trundle flat. And they're going to get picked off because they just don't have enough of a. People went in and there wasn't enough damage to kind of peel it out. So this is my inherent problem with Lucian at the moment, is he can get killed really easily, and he has no like frontline damage, especially if you build that shitly. Well, no, it's not a shit build, but it's the only build. It's because it's so strong, and he doesn't really fit in with anything else. So Jack's got 1v1'd as well, and this was what I was talking about. It was just a matter of time until Jack got 1v1'd. Fiora's just so strong. Good Baron call here. They can't do anything. They've only got a Poppy up, and Poppy's in mid lane doing stuff. See, I like the Poppy into the Fiora. Poppy's really good, but that means you either have to take Poppy top lane or you take her into support so you protect carries, and they're looking to engage with Poppy, which is really bad. And there we go, and that's Fiora. And that's why you ban Fiora. So there's what, 2 minutes left on this game or something, so I'm gonna guess now Dignitas win. Knew it all along. I'm so good at this game. No, but I mean, it's just a really bad draft by CLG. A lot of P teams just lose throughout draft because they just have no identity in the draft, or they just try and counter what the other team's doing instead of just having an identity that counters anyway. How he survives for so long, like, and then he gets healed and he gets he ults, and then he just walks away and does trundle things. Really good positioning here by Ezreal. That's really, really good flanking. Yeah, it's just complete misplay because I mean, like the Jax. If you fight there, you have to have the Jax back up, and they don't because he's dead. It's just big miscommunication here. Just big miscommunication. Big miscommunication. So they're looking to siege down the tower because they've got bot lane pushing. So the Jax has to be in bot lane, which is just a sign for like all your powers in the Jax. You can now just fight these things. They've got no damage. They've got no frontline damage. The frontline can just go in. They get one. The Sun just looking to disengage, but she's not tanky enough. She doesn't have a thingy. Oh, she does, but it's gone. So Fiora's now 1v1 the Jax. Yeah, this is what I mean. Like you don't answer the best 1v1er in the game with a subpar 1v1er and hope for the best. You either strangle her out in the early game with your thing, or you just completely like out tank her or something, or you just push a certain lane. You just look for like a 5-man shove or something. This was really smart by Dignitas. They did really well with the Fiora pick, and CLG just drafted it really badly. So those are the 3 games I'm going to be reviewing today. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you watch. I hope you do YouTube things with like, subscribe and whatnot. And see if anyone's talking. No. So anyway, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. That's the wrong button, Adam. Oh, my name's not Adam. Oh no, what am I doing? Right, bye.